And Johnny Hammond.
Rupert, thank you very much. Yes, our first look at last week's champions, about going for their fourth title in a row. One word to describe him last week, Rob Bickerman: efficient. Brilliantly efficient. That's two.
That's two words. You snuck another one in, but you're exactly right. Although I've got to say, there's a wonderful caveat to this game, Johnny. South Africa 18-game win streak. Japan 18 winless streak. But where before have we seen the best team in the world take on the worst team in the world, and it'd been a very different outcome to what we expect. 2015 was lucky enough to be there. Could we perhaps have another upset on our hands?
As you say, 18 wins on the spin, some injuries to concern themselves with in South Africa. No Muller du Plessis. Neil Powell, the coach, has been scrummaging this week just to help the guys out. Japan, winless last week, their 35th 7's match on the series. Only 4 wins, safe to say they are finding their feet very much. And this will be another really stern test. But this is why we love sport, this is why we love rugby, this is why we love 7's.
Yeah, exactly that. There's always a degree of uncertainty. Okay, however, the one word you mentioned, efficiency, puts South Africa right at the top. They're chasing a record-breaking 4th series event win on the bounce, and to be honest, they're very likely going to get it. They look formidable.
Been some start to the day here in Dubai. Volume 2 of the Dubai 7's here in the desert. And a cracking start to this Pool A as well. Just seen GB, real seesaw of a game between them and Ireland. It's going to be some heavy weight on one side of the seesaw in this game, you suspect. 40-point difference when these two met last week. Identical pool to round 1 of this year's Dubai. And it's South Africa with possession to start with. Stretching and scoring. The champions' first score, is it? Referee wants to check.
Got a grounding?
I advise you to check it.
Okay. TMO check.
Steve here, yeah,
Checking
TMO check.
Impivisa gets the reach out, heading towards the line, puts the right arm down, but that ball's down before it. Fair enough. Assistant referee slightly blinded to it. Checked it. That's definitely a try.
No problem at all.
Leish here.
Yeah.
You can award the try.
Thanks, Leish.
Try is awarded, and the champions, the reigning champions, get their account. The Dubai Mark II up and running through that man. Impivisa, 15th try on the circuit. And again, an efficient start.
Well, exactly that, wasn't it? Right from the restart, they get it, keep hold of it. And as we've seen with a bit of analysis this week, they're also pretty good at stealing it. They are all court game, the blitz box.
Medals in the last 9 events since the start of 2020. 5 golds and 2 silvers.
You mentioned the missing du Plessis out wide. Impivisa, slightly different frame, same outcome.
And we can talk about all the stats from last weekend, but it's in the mind, isn't it? Embodiment of their coach, Neil Powell. Already 5-0 up, South Africa.
Advantage knock on.
Their advantage here as well. Japan struggling to
It's knock on
get their hands on the ball.
Knock on here on the contest. Scrum.
You're right, mindset's massive. It's determination to get the ball back. When
Mark,
Barcelona were flying at football, they had their rule that they tried to get the ball back within 3 to 5 passes, and it feels the same for South Africa. You know, Japan are going to be tested here. Luckily, they've got Kameli Soijimi on the near side.
Crouch.
On the talismanic figure, 38 years old, representing for them.
Set.
What's up with you then?
Older than me. But he'll need to use his experience against this seriously powerful team.
Just waiting for your excuse then. Why are you not playing? South Africa back with possession. So Davids is being held up there.
Interesting tactic. The South Africans knew this was going to come. That remains open play until De Pre's knee hits the floor or he's taken to the touchline. The South Africans don't join it. It stays open play.
Another 4.5 minutes of this before half time.
I mean, they could try and steal the ball. How strong's Dupree? There's Davids in the middle.
So and Davids, I mean, he's been surrounded by 4 Japanese players. The crowd are wondering quite what's going on here. That's the 10-metre line.
They do need to get him towards the touchline, but if 4 players can't steal the ball off him, I would be questioning the strength of those 4 players.
That's the movie.
Well, perhaps they're working against each other as well. Kono's in there. Sorry, Jima's in there. Ishira's in there.
Yeah, right hand around his neck. Could be looked at.
Come on, boys.
This is a very bizarre moment in rugby law.
This is crazy, isn't it? Is the knee gone down? There are 2 Japanese players and they say, well, let's surrender. Ball back with South Africa and he bursts into life. Flicks it back inside. JC Pretorius stretching. Mr. Incredible is there.
Down the line.
Well, I think the crowd probably more appreciative of that open play possession ending rather than the try for South Africa. But JC Pretorius continues this incredible reputation. But this is what it's all about, suspended feet. The laws of rugby union never fail to amaze me. All 90,000 laws are in the game, but there's one of them. And eventually, the knee comes down, the ball comes out, and shock horror. South Africa get over the whitewash.
I mean, you see a lot of things in Dubai, most things in Dubai, some strange, some bizarre, some brilliant, some wonderful. Not sure we've ever seen anything like that.
Japanese cuddle.
JC Pretorius, try 32 now. And this is 13th tournament. 10-0 to South Africa, to the champions. No more mauls, please. Oh, they get the ball back from the restart. They're so good, aren't they? So alert, so mentally and physically sharp. It is going to be very, very hard to beat the South Africans this weekend.
Unfortunately, the longest part of play that Japan may well not concede could well have been that held-up piece of play. It's a lovely bounce, fortunate, but what an attacking play. Van Vick flew onto it. Really impressive tournament last week. Where's 13? Pretty lucky in his rugby journey, and he's taken his chance.
3rd try already, top try scorers in the last 3 events. 31 tries last weekend. And this 18-game winning streak going back to the bronze final back in Vancouver. These breaks, at least offloads, showing that efficiency that they have with the ball, South Africa. Again, they go high. MP Vissa this time can't get it. Japan have the ball. Looking for their first win against South Africa. Here's their 26th meeting.
First man.
Look at that. Brilliant work from Soyezwapi, the captain, and he bursts away. Good tackle needed to be Soyejima. Brilliant work initially from Soyezwapi.
That's one of those possessions that he is just so good at stealing. Brilliant over the ball, so strong. Seems that their master plan consistently being executed.
Here's the man they call Shakes in there very, very quickly. The dying embers of this first half, our first look at the champs.
21% of opposition ruck ball they stole last week. It was a brilliant recipe for success. And they're looking to do the same again today.
Looking for their 24th. Pool went out of 25 here in Dubai. That's 25.
First man.
Pretorius, so quick in there. Gets that ball. Here comes the Blitzbokker again. Advantage. Branko Dupree gives it. Van Veek.
Advantage over.
Advantage over. Soyezwapi. Out of canter. The Blitzbokker.
I love the fact that it's that man scoring it. Got the ball back. Pretorius, equally as adept. And it's the actions that they... So fast over the ball, gets the hands free, over the top. Japanese players not clearing it enough. The ball is on the floor. Expect to see South Africans simply more desperate to get the ball back than their opposition. And so is Wapi. Gets the fend out, flies down the side, and that's the attacking prowess this man possesses.
Undefeated in the last 18 pool games, 17 wins, heading towards their 18th in 19, the champions. Half-time between South Africa and Japan, 24-0. It's just no frills, are there, Rob Bickham? Everybody knows the plan, everybody's on the same script, everybody's on the same hint sheet. Get into half-time, right, let's calm ourselves down. Then cool, calm messages. Tries for, visits to the 22-4. Says it all.
For me, it's their errors. That's the thing that really are setting them aside at the moment. They are just not making errors. They don't try high-risk plays. They don't offload a lot. But they're just so effective.
Efficient.
I was letting you have that word. I was going for a different one.
We'll have GB and Ireland just battling out in a 24-21 victory for Team GB last time they're together. For the moment, before they get the power back together, I suspect. It's a great start from the champions, isn't it? South Africa, winners here last week, beating Ireland, Japan, GB, same pool this week. Australia in the quarterfinals, Argentina in the semis, and then that right royal stuffing of USA in the final, 42-7. Mario and Louise, you're in.
Okay. Ready, Japan? Okay. Behind, boys.
Japan getting this second 7 minutes underway here in Dubai. Wherever you are joining us around the world, a very, very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Crowds beginning to filter in here in the heat, in the sun.
High tackle.
A little high from Japan, just gifting South Africa the ball back. Brilliant angle, JC Pretorius. Fabulous in the quick hands. Davids. It's another try to start this second half.
Similar formula to the South Africans, getting a little half chance, not wanting to risk an offload, create the breakdown, and from that, fast, effective passing. Davids, Pretorius to Davids, and then even the big men cantering round. Each one of them seems to have a checklist of pace, dynamism, skill set and fitness that make them almost like rugby marines.
Other elite forces are available. Fifth in Tokyo, weren't they, South Africa? Averaged only 3.2 tries a game. Now look at them, absolutely flying. 31 last weekend already. 5 here against Japan. Japan with found hen's teeth, possession. Such a rarity, but only for a few seconds. Back with South Africa. Just looks so easy for them, doesn't it? The champions starting, just picking up where they left off last weekend. Bragg de Prier with the latest score for them, and Selvin Davids was there as well.
You mentioned possession, 3 passes, 5 seconds, and then the penalty. 2 passes and 5 points to South Africa. What a tough start for the Japanese against South Africa. You've got to say, there's not a lot you can do when a team are playing this well against you.
I think you made the point earlier, Rob, about starting a second weekend. There's bumps, there's bruises. We saw South African bodies lying all over the field last weekend.
15 seconds from now.
I think it's your first game, getting the body and the mind going. It's just none of that. It's like a ski sock out there. It's seamless.
Yeah, and I think South Africa can also rely on the fact that there's many threats in their team, whereas other nations perhaps have to rely on 1 or 2 standout players to really do a little bit more. For them, it is right across the board, and that makes it so much more
Throwing the ball away.
efficient in terms of your energy, that other people can run in the tries, can get the steals.
Yeah.
Hopefully Grobbelaar's okay on this near
Enough.
side. He's one of those pivotal players. But South Africa certainly are setting the standard.
And a card for throwing the ball away.
Yeah.
Went out
Yeah.
to
Okay.
off the line out,
Penalty on the
so
50 meters, boys.
threw
Throwing
that
the
ball away, and there's just no need for any of that kind of
Throwing the ball away.
shenanigans in the game of 7's.
Time back on. Yeah, it's okay, you can play.
Fa'alua is the man on the naughty step. The South Africa being at a canter against 7, now against 6. Japan trying to make it hard for South Africa. It's not hard at all for Ronald Brown.
How about that? Sneaking down the blind side. The pass inaccurate. Pretorius sets it up on this near side, and then a matter of inches, but that's all he needs.
63 points last weekend, only 5 of those in the final. Ronald Brown, he's just got 5 more there.
There's no miracle at Brighton, it's just destruction in Dubai. Hard enough with 7 men, probably difficult enough if they had 10, but down to 6, now impossible.
Yeah, she is the oasis in the desert, sporting oasis in the UAE desert. 50th anniversary of the United Arab Emirates became united. Public holiday here. And people making the most of it, coming here to the 7's. A sporting spectacle, cricket, netball, amateur teams. 100,000 people over the 2-3 days. Just see the difference in what these two teams are able to do with the ball. Inefficient kick.
Good.
And again, it's just another score utterly gifted to South Africa. Sean Williams.
Yep.
It's an interesting way to summarise that, really, isn't it? That we talk about efficiency for South Africa, but that was inefficient play from Japan. You get seldom chance against South Africa, just don't kick it away in midfield. I think there's many things here we can look at being one side of the scale, as you mentioned, on the seesaw, but compounding play by giving the ball back to them. I said their whole game plan is about getting the ball back. They want possession, they steal it back at will. And Japan will not have learnt much about themselves or a plan to beat South Africa in this game.
Just really greedy, aren't they? They're just greedy. They want the ball all the time. We're the champions. We want to keep the ball. We want to keep the titles rolling in.
There'll be a lot of proud people watching this in South Africa. And seemingly, the Japanese have to try and build that pride. They need to do better.
Advantage, knock on.
Really side winless last weekend. Louis. Can they
Advantage
get
over.
something right to the death here? Japan, long whipped out pass. South Africa want to keep that scoreboard down at 0.
Yeah, two
Shot
knockdowns,
on by
boy.
Japan. You can hear the frustration. It was going to be an uphill battle for the Japanese, the 12 seeds, up against the champions. And it's South Africa who open their account here in Dubai Volume 2 with a 48-0 victory over Japan. And aren't they delighted in the stands?